What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be breaking down UFC 327. It's not just going to be my opinions. This is going to be a full statistical deep dive into every single fight on the main card and some of the featured prelims. Some of the things we're going to be looking at are going to be the striking volume of the fighters, the metrics, the accuracy, defensive metrics, finishing rate, and then the fight tendencies. And then we're going to try and turn all of that into pure data-driven predictions. Some of these fights I feel like are very close on paper, but others are way more one-sided than most people think. Let's start from the bottom of the card and work our way up to the main event. That's going to be the first featured prelim of the night, in my opinion. That's going to be Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. First fight, again, Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. I think it's a fascinating one because statistically this fight is basically two completely different worlds colliding. Starting with Pico, we know he's landing around 3.88 significant strikes per minute. He has a 67% takedown accuracy and an 84% finish rate. Comparing that to Pitbull, he's landing only 2.68 significant strikes per minute, but he has an 89% takedown defense and a much more well-rounded finish distribution. The biggest stat in this fight is going to be Aaron Pico officially has a 0% takedown defense. That's not just low, that is 0%. Basically what that means is that if this fight is standing, Pico will probably win, but if this fight goes to the ground, Pitbull has a chance to just dominate and decimate him. Statistically, we know that the fighters with the elite takedown defense and experience like Pitbull is going to tend to be the ones to control the fight if it goes down to the ground. My prediction is going to be Patricio Pitbull to win. I'd say it's about 60-40 for Patricio winning. It's just a matter if he goes for the takedown or not. Second featured prelim of the night is going to be Kevin Holland going up against Randy Brown. Now, it's another very close fight statistically. We know that Kevin Holland is landing around 4.26 significant strikes per minute. He's an 82% finish rate, and he's got more of a submission threat than Randy Brown. But Brown is going to be landing slightly higher volume at 4.49 strikes per minute, and he has a better striking defense at 54% and a much better takedown defense at 73%. Basically, what we're seeing when we're reading these is that Brown is the more controlled and safer fighter, whereas Kevin Holland is going to be the more dangerous fighter with a higher finishing upside and tendency to go for that finish. In close statistical fights, I kind of lean towards the fighter who's going to be able to end the fight rather than go to the full distance. To me, that's just going to be Kevin Holland. I'd say he's got around 57% chance to win, give or take. Next up is going to be Cub Swanson going up against Nate Landwehr in the opening fight on the main card for UFC 327. I think it's a classic veteran versus pressure fighter. We know that Nate Landwehr is going to be having a much higher output, landing around 5.63 significant strikes per minute. A much more aggressive pace. He's known for his cardio and his ability to just not breathe and go straight for the kill and keep throwing. Cub Swanson, we know he's going to have a much better defense, 59% versus 52% in the striking defense category. He's got way more experience going up against better guys, and he's very much more proven over the longer fights. I think this matters way more than people are thinking. Swanson has gone the decision 16 different times, which tells you one thing. He can survive the chaos and win rounds. Nate Landwehr tends to rely purely on pressure and damage. We know it's a veteran versus a more of a prospect or younger fighter, but they're not that far away from each other in age, and I just think that Cub Swanson's going to be able to dominate this fight. But it's not a guarantee. I'd say he's got like a 55% chance to win. Moving into one of the more unpredictable fights of the night, in my opinion, Dominic the Devastator Reyes going up against Johnny Walker. And statistically, this one's crazy because Reyes is landing around 5.39 significant strikes per minute. He's got more of a consistent output and a much better takedown defense at 83%, whereas Walker has a higher 91% finish rate, a massive 82-inch reach, I think it's like 3-inch advantage there, and a much higher knockout percentage. This fight is basically, if you break it down, it's going to be Reyes is equal to cleaner, more technical fighter, whereas Walker is kind of the more explosive, dangerous, and chaotic brawler almost, but he's not really a brawler. He's still going to be clean. He's just going to be more chaotic when it comes to fighting. Fights like this usually comes down to one thing: who's going to be able to land clean first. And if Walker's finishing ability plus his reach, I'd say it gives him a slight edge. We all know that both of these guys' chins are going to be a massive problem. and I just think that Walker's going to be able to hit him with a cleaner, more effective direct hit. Give me Johnny Walker at about 52% to win. Next up is a very interesting one, especially after I saw Media Day today. It's Curtis Blades versus Josh Hokett. This is one of the more surprising fights to me, because on paper, you'd expect Blades to dominate this one with the wrestling, and just his overall experience means he should win every time. But if you look at the stats specifically, Josh Hokett is landing around 6.07 strikes per minute, a 67% accuracy, 100% takedown defense, and 100% finish rate. Whereas Curtis Blades is landing 3.56, so barely half of that, if not a little under half of that, or over half of it. Strikes per minute with a 49% takedown defense, or 49% takedown accuracy against 100% takedown defense does not look good for him. And Blades himself only has a 32% takedown defense against, the fact is it's two wrestlers, and this is huge because if Curtis Blades isn't able to force the wrestling exchanges and he's forced to do a striking fight where Hokett is basically statistically doubling up on him, my bad. It just means that Hokett's going to be far superior in the stand-up striking games. My prediction is going to be Josh Hokett, and I think it's got around a 70% chance to win. It is the biggest mismatch statistically on the card. I've been saying that just by rank. I don't think Hokett should be fighting someone as higher up as Curtis Blades is, but the UFC's pushing him, and we'll see if Hokett can prove that he deserves to be up there. Co-main event is going to be a sneaky high-level strikers match. It's going to be Azamat Murzakanov going up against Paulo Costa. Murzakanov, looking at the stats, he's got a 58% striking accuracy, a 61% striking defense, and he only is absorbing 2.86 strikes per minute. Whereas Costa has a much higher output at 6.26, but he also absorbs 6.20 strikes per minute. This is a massive difference. Let me explain that again. Costa is taking more than double the damage that Murzakanov does in a minute. And over time, that's going to always matter. We know Costa is going to equal pressure and volume, whereas Murzakanov is going to be efficiency and durability. We know that Azamat's going to go for the finish every time. He tends to get it. He's undefeated at 16-0. But Paulo Costa is moving up from middleweight, so that weight cut isn't going to kill him as much. Hopefully his power translate. But my overall prediction, if I'm giving it to you straight, by the stats, it's going to be Murzakanov, and he's got around a 60% chance to win. Finally, you have the main event. Yuri BJP Prochazka going up against Carlos the Blackjack Ulberg. I think it's the definition of chaos versus control. Ulberg's landing around 6.54 significant strikes per minute. He's got a better defense at 52% striking-wise. He's got an 86% takedown defense. I don't think that's going to matter. Yuri doesn't go for takedowns, but if he chooses to, that can only help him. Ulberg is more efficient overall, but Prochazka has a 97% finish rate, and 88% of that is KO rate. Extremely unpredictable. Statistically, Ulberg should win rounds, but Prochazka will end the fight. And this is important because, again, I tend to go with the fighters that are going to end the fight and finish it. We know that fighters like Prochazka, like Pereira, they break the stats. They don't follow them. While Ulberg does have cleaner numbers, Prochazka has the most dangerous profile in the sport as well as on this card. My prediction will be Carlos Ulberg. He's got a slight edge to win, but it's got the biggest, highest upset potential in the card. My official one, give me Prochazka by knockout, later rounds 3 or 4 or 5. My final picks, a quick recap. I'm going with Pitbull over Pico, Kevin Holland over Brown, Cub Swanson over Nate Landwehr, Johnny Walker over Dominic Reyes, Josh Hokett versus Curtis Blades. I'm going with Hokett. Azamat Murzakanov over Paulo Costa. I'm going to go with Prochazka over Ulberg, but I'm going to do an identical parlay with Ulberg winning. Biggest lock statistically of the night, honestly, is going to be Josh Hokett, and the most dangerous underdog is going to be Yuri Prochazka. If you enjoyed the breakdown, I know I was a little lazy on it, But if you enjoyed the breakdown, drop a like, subscribe. Let me know who you got in this main card, because this card in this main event is way closer than most people think. And I will see you next time.